Hello, welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professionalism. For today's tips only, the investment I'm going to talk about today will be Ethereum TKTH. First, I want to say happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope a great week so far. We're almost to the New Year's. Respect to recording time of 7:35 a.m. on Eastern Time. Ethereum coin traded $3,736, down about 1.5% so far. On the overall crypto market, you can see clearly we are bright red all over again. With respect to the post-holiday rally correction, seems like we're still sliding off a little bit right now. And with respect to Ethereum, just take a look at a collective historical snapshot. Today, we're down about 1.5% a pre-market perspective. Yesterday, at the worst point, we were down close to about 6.02%. So collectively, we're down about close to 8% so far. But if you take a look at on a more of a snapshot perspective for the whole entire week, 7 days, let's just say in durations, we've been down close to about 12.13% so far, right? It seems like we've been selling off despite the holiday rally that we've seen across the entire market. So what's the momentum looking like right now, right? Are we going to be seeing more sell-off coming, or are we near the bottom already? What is going to be the next steps going forward? We'll dive into the technicals in a bit to dive into it. And with respect to the news front, let's just look into the news real quick to see if there's anything substantive, or is it just more about naming what they're seeing right now, but without anything substantive, which is typical with among a lot of the media affectation front, right? So with respect to the first one on Barron's about 3 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin trades below 48,000 as cryptocurrencies slumps into year end. We'll see what that means. Obviously, we are below 48 right now. We are actually at 47, below 47, just basically $90 away. So we'll dive into the technicals just to see, with respect to the technical bottom, what would that be, right? Though does it make sense for us to be all freaking out right now for no apparent reason to just sell for the sake of selling, right? And with respect to the next one on Decrypt, about 15 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Metaverse token sinks further after a holiday crypto rally. Just more regurgitation news around what's going on right now. Ultimately, this is some sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy that they also try to influence the market to do. Is, if everybody is saying that, this is going to be going down, this is going to be a sell-off coming, corrections coming, crypto's dying, eventually, the news gets spread out there, people are going to start thinking or psychologically tweaked in a way that they think it is really the truth, right? But think about the opposite side of the spectrum, right? The publication companies are controlled by the corporations, by the whales, right? The whales are technically the fund managers, and they have a direct connective lines to the publication heads, right? And they are, despite how unethical you might even think it is, they have the power to, articulate or curate some sort of news that can influence the market the way that benefits them, right? So we don't know behind the scenes, right? It's it's something that I actually have seen in the past that has been done. Not going to say any names nor any firms but I know that that's how, I guess the Wall Street infrastructure works, right? It's about getting the information first, right? And then react or proactively create this information first and then react accordingly based on how the market influence reacts. And when you see a certain vulnerability or a gap in the market, then you capitalize on that gap, obviously, for your own benefits, right? So these news are what it is, right? That's why it's important for us to filter out, again, right, these BS, if you may, with the right technical, right quantitative analysis, because they never lies, right? So with respect to the remaining news that I see here, more just frankly non-substantive frankly, clickbait type of news. Just talk about what's going on, right? But ultimately, it's a psychological tactic that they want to be enforcing on you guys, even me, right? When I'm reading, it's like bright red. It's like what the, it definitely doesn't make you feel good, right? And if you take a look at the news, I swear to God, right? Just a couple of days ago, you could have sworn that every analyst was saying there's a rally coming. We're still in a bullish state, right? Bitcoin's going to hit, I don't know, 75,000 soon, or all-time high 100,000 soon. But it's not that, absolutely no. In comparisons to now, a lot more optimistic than what we're seeing collectively, right? So when you see these type of polarizing news, you know, doesn't that make you kind of question what's going on, right? Just in the span of a week, not even, right? I would say, because of the fact that we keep we're relatively intimate with the news. We're always like watching the news and we're always keeping up to date. And for me, I'm a workaholic, so I'm always like keeping tabs. And in just the last 24, 48 hours, the news seems very different, right? Doesn't that tell you something about how manipulative it can be, right? And they come from the same media companies. Quite interesting, right? So let's just dive into the technicals now. So with respect to recording time of 7:42 a.m. on Eastern time, Ethereum currency is basically above the 3,650. I'll give that benefit of doubt that we're basically there right now. We're basically about $50 away, so it's not that far off. So what is the technical bottom from here, right? We are still in this wedge, right? Obviously, it looks like we separated from it a little bit. And that's because of the Omicron news that's been kind of driving the sell-off, right? But if you think about like what's been driving the sell-off collectively, right? The sell-off start from firstly, the FOMC meeting, the fear of the scare, and then subsequently revive back up. And then what's driving another sell-off again is from the Joe Biden speech, right, on the Omicron, right? That was 2 Tuesdays ago, or last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And then the subsequent one is basically another Joe Biden specials, right, with Dr. Fauci support. Seems like the cases are surging, right? But without the right tactical support, without the right, public confirmatory signal, right, it drives just more fear mongering with the support of media affectation, right? So just been 3 consecutive of, weeks of negativity so far. But these are not like direct negativity, but rather direct uncertainty, if you may, right? So where will be the technical bottom? 3,475, 3,150? I think right now we're at the 38 out of 70 already, right? So as we go down further to 35, I think ideally to 3,650, that will get us to 35. That means we're oversold by that point. And by then, we will, and especially we have a lot of resistance levels here. The worst I would see that would go down to, possibly, would be the 3,575, to be honest with you. Because by then, we'll be extremely oversold, and we will have no choice but to reverse back up because of the G-force, the anti-gravitational force that we will have as we drill down to get more, below Earth crust, if you may, right? So I think bottom is near. It is unfortunate that we do have a death cross right now, but the death cross is not that sharp, right? So, and at the same time, we're relatively oversold right now. So that means we're not going to see a major sell-off all over again. Remember, this week we have sold down for close to about 13% so far. So the next one's on Bitcoin. Right now it's below, obviously, the 47,900. Right now, we are attempting to go back to the 45, right? And as we go down, we're at the 38 out of 70. So 45 would allow us to get to the oversold level. I think the worst will be technically at the 44. Dogecoin, 17 cents. Anywhere from the 16 to below would be a better level. Right now, we're still at the neutral level, not oversold, not overbought. So down about 2%, not a terrible level to incur some risk right now. Obviously, this is more of a meme-like type of character, so be aware of long term. And then the next one is with respect to Cardano. Again, anywhere from 135 to 120 are the best levels. Right now, it's not the best. We're still at the 47 out of 70, so really not the best, not the worst. But on the, for me, I would prefer to buy at a cheaper level. Solana is down about 10% so far. We could see how severe the sell-off has been. We are about to form a death cross. We are at the 42 out of 70. So yeah, 155, 133 to 113 are still better level for us. XRP, comparable to Solana for some reason. As we approach 78 cents, that will be a better level. Right now, it's not the best, to be honest with you. We are hovering because of some consolidation in between. But as we deplete to below, and as we form this golden death cross, if you may, right? You see this clearly. We're going to be in for 78 to 69, potentially even. Polkadot is down about 6% right now. Anywhere from 25 to below would be better level. I think we should be getting there because of we're still neutral at the moment. ALGORAND down about 8% right now, selling off. From 135 to 125 is still better level for us. Shiba Inu 2900 to below would be the best levels. MacTac 175 to 43 would be the best. Right now we're still overbought despite the sell-off we've been seeing so far. So yeah, definitely not a good time to buy at the moment. AVAX, you could see clearly we're sliding off, losing momentum. We form a death cross, 48 out of 70. Yep, 81 to 60. Luna selling off. We're gonna be in for a lot more bloody days ahead for Luna. You could see clearly we're forming a death cross right now. We're at the 57 out of 70. So as we go down to 75, that will be the first level of non-substantive consolidation zone. But ideally at the 62, 52, and 45 would be the better level for us. And then for elrond, right now it's actually not a terrible level still. We are relatively depleted at the moment still, despite the slight rebound. It seems like we're having some micro affectation that's driving elrond to go up from here. But obviously, if you were able to capture below at the 135, or we're like $2 away, so it's not terrible, not the best again. But we're relatively depleted at that moment, so this is not a terrible level for us to incur some risk. So with respect to Bitcoin, obviously it's the motherlode of dragging the entire market, but we are in proximity to close to the attractive and steal level, right? So I think incurring some risk right now for Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are trading in a very comparable fashion in comparisons to the altcoin. I think buying opportunities are definitely in front of us. It's just about, can you sustain the gut-wrenching media affectation for the next couple of days, or potentially more manipulative type of media coming. Ultimately we are in the mercies of the whales, right? On both psychological front, but also in terms of the market and supply front, right? And then as for elrond, we could see clearly we're in the attractive level at the moment. So feel free to use this as a reference. Again, this is my risk aversion. And the reason that we're hitting some of these numbers that you guys were able to place is not because I'm a wizard, it's because the technical speaks the truth. And the technicals always speaks the truth. And that's why we are able to detect the BS from the media, right? So hopefully you guys have a great Wednesday. I appreciate you for joining by again. And stay tuned to come up. Take care. Bye.